Oh, I've run out of wine.
Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. We had a little problem with the machine spirit, but fortunately the Emperor was on our side, which is more important anyway. Tonight we're going to be playing Wrath and Glory by Bolter and Blade, which isn't as loud as Flint and Steel, mostly to not upset Roger. So yeah, with me tonight is a double dose of Dan's and a healthy side dish of Roger. And I'll let them introduce. Yeah, what more can you want on a Wednesday night?
It sounds like a healthy meal.
It's healthy option, yeah. And I'll let them introduce themselves and their characters, starting with Roger, who is that side of me.
Hi, I'm Roger. I'm playing Dan Nee Dyer. I am a ganger scum of House Orlok from Necromunda.
Good evening. My name is Other Dan, and this week I will mostly be playing Brodo Fraggins, the rattling sniper. Yes, we went there. It's Roger's idea.
Good evening. I'm the main Dan. If he's the other Dan, I'm not sure that's true. There we go.
Dan Prime.
Dan Prime. Oh, I love it. I'm Dan Prime. That's it. It's official. I am Dan Prime, and tonight I will be playing the very pious and holy Sister Genevieve, Battle Sister Novitiate. And I know what you're all thinking. We're all tier 1, and I'm playing a Battle Sister, but she's been ranked down to tier 1, so you don't need to worry. But there's gonna be a lot of faith going around. And maybe some backhead shooting if there's anyone unfaithful. Look at you.
So things could go askew quite quickly. Before we get started, feel free and please do follow us on Twitch and YouTube and join us on Discord to talk about lots and lots of RPGs and fun games. And then I think we'll just dive straight into it. So your group has been gathered together by Lord Militant Fylamon because the Gilead system is in great strife. There's riots and heresy and demons and plague and chaos and orcs and Eldar sneaking about somewhere, and all of the things that are necessary for a good old time in Warhammer 40k. But as the Gilead system sort of crumbles apart and the people in charge try and hold everything together, there are a few smaller problems that need to be dealt with that Lord Militant Fylamon has decided should probably be dealt with quietly and swiftly by your very selves in the form of a little kill team. And you have been dispatched to a mostly mining based hive. Well, it's a hive built around the mining on the moon of Harbon, which hangs above Cheridian, because they like to make names difficult. And it's a hive called Cretch. And recently it stopped shipping the requisite amount of materials down to the planet below, which needs them majoritively for building Titans, so that's kind of important. And after Lord Militant Fylamon dispatched some spies to see what was going on, they intercepted a lot of communications about how the governor in charge, known as Lord Gneaus, believes that he is in direct contact with the Emperor. So the Lord Militant has decided something needs to be done quite quickly and has dispatched your little group to deal with the matter. You arrive on Cretch, on the landing zone area at the exterior edge of the hive city. It's basically, it's little more than a big landing platform. You've flown in through an archaeotech dome that surrounds the hive city itself. As you came in, you can see the pockmarks of the various mines nearby, and then there's this enormous spire that shoots up out of the charred and barren land around it on the moon of Harbon. And as you land, the smell of putrid oil, machine lubrication and things is already quite pungent in the air, and you can sort of see it dripping down through a drainage system that washes down to this area, which is pretty much on the outskirts of the slums. And let me just change the map on Foundry so you can see it. And if you're watching on Twitch, you should be able to see it as well. So yeah, you're over here in this sort of area in the landing zone. And it's fairly quiet when you disembark. Oh wait, sorry, I didn't activate. Sorry, there you go. I did it on the screen, I didn't do it on Foundry. I'm trying to multitask here. And that is going as well as to be expected. There you go. So yeah, you've landed over here on the landing zone, and it's mostly just like a big open platform with a small narrow entrance that leads out to the slums beyond, and most likely some kind of mag line or something that crosses the city and transports things around.
Am I the only one that can't see it?
It should be. It will load.
I told me I didn't have a token to be part of the vision of this one.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Oh,
to me
right.
As well.
Okay.
So it might be because we haven't
That's
got a token set up, we can't see the map. As long as the viewers can see it, that's the most important thing. We can imagine.
The viewers can see it because I put it directly in there for the viewers. You should be. I've put your tokens up, so you might be able to see it now. Yay,
Yes.
the machine gods. They love me so. So, yeah. Once again, to reiterate, you've landed in this sort of open platform area on a small Valkyrie that was transporting things in. And then it's pretty much all open platform. There's a bunch of piping and things all around it on the outskirts. And then this open plankway at the end that leads off into the slums. But there appears to be a small throng there, being stopped by a group at the end of it. Anyway.
What? Sorry, I missed that completely.
A small throng of people that were departing ships coming in for various reasons, probably from the mines on the outskirts, and they're all just sort of stuck there at the moment as they have to pass through a group of 3 or 4 people that are checking everyone coming in.
Is that the only way into the city then, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay, and then I suppose we're going to start making our way across.
Well, I don't know. Is it the only way into the city? That's really up to you.
I think realistically, even though we've heard he thinks he's been communicated by the Emperor, we've been sent by the Lord Militant. I think we'd probably be quite brash and march. Well, I know the sister would be quite brash and just march straight up to the gates to find out what the hell's going on. So that's what she's going to do. She's going to walk up to the checkpoint, and she's going to maybe
might be more appropriate.
I don't think they know the meaning of the word, mate.
And so it begins.
I mean, she's just left them behind because, And what she's going to do is she's going to walk over. She's going to be a bit more heavy set in her feet, so you can hear like her power armor clunking on the surface as she comes over. To exude like a sort of an intimidation, as it were. Someone in power armor's come marching over.
Yeah. The back end of the group of miners coming in from the mines back to the city start falling apart, and you can sort of see this group of basically it's one person at the front checking everyone and about three very sturdy looking figures standing behind glaring at everyone.
Sister Genevieve, I assume as the Lord Militant give us like papers for our orders,
or were the orders be undercover?
Yeah, your orders are pretty much to confirm the information they have about Lord Gneaus and deal with him as is appropriate.
He might genuinely be touched by the Emperor. We don't know that for certain. So yeah, Sister Genevieve is going to march up to the person who looks most in charge.
Yeah.
Stand aside. I'm here on the Emperor's business.
He looks a bit flustered at first, as they don't usually get power armored visitors. Well, yes, but you have to pay the tithe to get through the gate.
I am Sister Genevieve of the Order of the Valorous Heart. I do not need to pay to enter the Emperor's realm.
Well, you do here though, because otherwise you can't get through the gate.
And she slowly cocks the bolt gun. Here is my payment. Stand aside. I'm here on the Emperor's business.
The three rough-looking figures behind it
sort of before we even start the game.
Sort of start moving, and anyone who hadn't noticed it before notices that they're quite they're not well armed, but they're definitely all armed.
I'm gonna duck out of the way, into the shadows, and find myself somewhere behind cover.
With a clear line of sight, right?
Of course.
Once again,
what's Danny Dyer doing?
Much like I am, he's quite poignantly laughing. He's finding this whole interaction hilarious. I'll walk up and go, listen, Iggies, we've got a lot of stuff to do. Like the lady said, we're here for the Emperor. So if you can just kind of get us in, and I'll kind of offer my hand with some credits concealed in it.
Yeah. Okay. Whilst you do that, roll an awareness roll.
Oh dear. This is not something Sister Genevieve is good at.
Oh, it's for Danny Dyer.
It's not something I'm good at either. So don't worry. Oh, three successes.
3 successes.
Three
It's enough. Yep. As you're sort of giving him this handshake with the credits in hand, you notice some gang markings along the side of his neck.
I think we've lost Roger a little bit there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Am I back now?
Yeah, you're back now. So,
sorry.
in case you didn't hear it, you notice some gang
I heard
markings.
the gang markings.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Come on. You don't want to pick a fight with one of them. Look at that power armor. She'd fuck you up.
Yeah. He sort of looks at you for a moment and goes, all right, but don't tell anyone you didn't pay the tithe. And the
Don't worry,
three
it's just between you and me.
the three heavies at the back sort of look kind of upset. Seemingly they thought it might be good for their reputation to pick on a power armored battle nun, but have decided they aren't allowed.
Wait, come on, fraggins.
And in the most almost snobbery, snooty way, like I am pious, I am the Emperor's servant. Genevieve walks through them and doesn't even pay them any mind, like they're nothing, like they're and she just walks through them.
As Brodo walks past, he kind of doffs his cap, puts it back on again.
He's got a cap on. Okay.
Cap on, pipe, and the rest is kind of like Imperial Guard issue fatigues and flak armor and stuff with a cloak.
Yeah, I'll move you back then. So yeah, you move on into the slums area, which is this sort of bit here. You can see it.
Yep.
And it's almost like a tunnel network of little buildings that are built around all of these massive pipe works that are feeding the manufactoriums somewhere in the distance. And the whole area is slick with oil and just grease and dirt that is funneling down from up the top of the
Not ideal for Sister Genevieve's white alabaster armor, then.
No, not really.
And
might
red
get
robes.
a bit. Roll athletics to see if you fall over and get it dirty. No.
I mean, I'm happy to do it. I've got 6 dice. I should pass.
Yeah, that
At least you're
probably do
wearing
it.
boots.
I mean, does power armor count as boots? I guess it does, yeah.
Power boots.
I'm barefoot.
Don't think anyone would walk anywhere in the Imperium barefoot. It's gross. Is there any can we see any sort of transportation? Because I mean, Sister Genevieve will be used to hive cities, but hive cities are different every time you go into them, and because we're not from the area, we'll get easily lost. So she's looking for
we won't get lost. Have some faith.
The Emperor's guidance will always guide us to where we need to go, but the quickest route to where we need to go is via transport. And she's looking around to see if there's anything floating around in the sky or whatever.
You can ask someone, or are you just looking around to find?
I mean, are there people nearby? She would have no problem with approaching an Imperial citizen.
Yeah.
After all, she is Sister of Battle.
The
Imperial citizen, however.
Yeah, the average citizen in this area of the hive looks a little bit worse off than Danny Dyer. A lot worse off, to be honest. And there's patches of groups that you assume are probably gangs marking their territory as
maybe the Ecclesiarchy has a Sister of Battle unit here that you can call upon for aid.
We don't have monasteries. They don't have monasteries everywhere, unfortunately.
I think that might be a bit optimistic there, Mr. Fraggins.
Yeah.
Do I think I know where the best way up would be?
I was going to say that kind of assume that because we got this gentleman with us.
Do you want to roll your hive explorer?
Yes, I do.
Ooh.
Cool.
So
that's a very good talent at the moment.
What would that be? Survival?
It's either, I think you're allowed to roll on either survival
Or stealth.
Stealth, yeah, depends on what you're trying to do.
Get up without being noticed by the gangs.
Okay, yeah.
Because someone,
Be more of a
not naming
stealth
names,
roll.
sister, are going to be a big prize for a gang. that very shiny looking armour of yours is worth quite a few creds.
An imperial citizen would not attack a sister of the ecclesiarch.
You haven't spent much time around gangs, have you?
Then if they tried to take me, they would find themselves wanting.
Rolled 9 and failed. Smooth.
Yeah, you got one success. Unfortunately, yeah, no, you just sort of
The big
This
powered
hive's-
armor sister stomping around is probably
Yeah.
putting you off a little bit.
Sister Genevieve sort of keeps stomping out in front of you as well because she's very intent on getting where she's going. And yeah, you're finding it hard to navigate because it's a bit different to other hives. This has clearly been built around the mining rather than built as a hive itself, and it's sort of built up around mining complexes at the bottom and these outskirts areas, and so it doesn't feel like the hives you're used to.
There would be some sort of
There's-
imperial cult church here. There probably wouldn't be Sisters of Battle here, but if there's an imperial church here, I probably would have done my homework in terms of knowing where it is.
A lot further up the hive.
Yes, it will be a lot further up the hive. But is there potential that we can navigate to that point? Obviously, Sister Genevieve doesn't care about being stealthy or whatnot. She's just going to find out.
The moment you're mostly waltzing headlong through gang territory and people are eyeing you up as you go past.
I mean, is there anyone who looks like an imperial citizen that would quite happily talk to Sister Genevieve?
Imagine everyone's just scared of you.
I mean, I'm carrying a massive bolt gun and I'm wearing power armor. I'm probably a little bit intimidating to them, but probably they're probably still thinking, "Oh, it's a lady, so it's not that dangerous." And not everybody knows that much about the Adeptus Sororitas. So I'd probably go like if I saw like a group of semi-normal looking people, I'd probably go and approach them.
Most of the groups look like they're probably gangs. And
I mean,
occasionally there's like a couple of people or one person wandering around running errands of some kind for something or someone.
She would definitely go and address them, Imperial citizen, like that, and see if any of them respond to her.
Keep your head down, Mr. Fraggins.
The moment you talk to one, they just sort of stop and stare up at you.
Imperial citizen, I'm trying to find my way, and I mentioned the ecclesiarch's position on the highway.
Yeah.
What is the quickest route to this place?
You could take the mag line, I suppose. It goes to the underhive from here, and then I don't know. I've never been further than there.
Well, your help is invaluable. And I place my hand on his shoulder. May the Emperor guide you. Give him your prayers. And then I walk off towards the direction where he pointed where the mag line was.
Yeah.
Come along, Fraggins, and you.
As you walk off, Danny Dyer and Fraggins notice that the gangs are really giving him the stink eye.
I'm going to be trying to keep to the... I'll be following, but I'll be trying to keep to the shadows as much as possible, because this lady is a magnet for trouble.
Same. One look at that armour, and these geezers want it.
I'm assuming you said that out of earshot of Sister Genevieve.
Yeah, I'm talking to Fraggins.
Yeah.
I mean, she's walking with the Emperor's purpose towards the mag lift.
He's strutting.
Did anyone point out to her that the Emperor doesn't walk anymore? Just saying.
Fraggins, you did not say that, did you? Please tell me Fraggins didn't say that. Don't say that to the pious woman who believes.
Mumble.
I feel like I don't really have to do anything.
I'm
I
right
could
there.
I'll sit here and wait until you all shoot each other.
Just as much as I just did.
No. As you're walking through the street, the groups are starting to sort of walk around the outskirts of you now as well.
Sister Genevieve
Clearly,
is not an idiot. Is she spotting this? Do you want me to roll awareness to see if I'm spotting this? 'Cause she's not an idiot. She's not like. She's not completely devoid of like spotting things.
You're pretty aware there is somewhat of a threat, but it depends on
Yeah, so I can see them approaching and like following
you
me around.
can see like two groups, probably about 8 people in total. 2 groups of 4 that are sort of trailing on
Are
along
they
the
shadowing
periphery. Yeah, they seem to be following your group, or at least walking parallel to them.
So Sister Genevieve, spotting them, is going to stand still and see what they and just see what they do. So what do they do?
At the moment, they're still like they slowly come to a halt. One of the groups halts a bit further up in front.
Are they within earshot?
Yeah, they're sort of they're trying to keep the odd bit of ductwork and piping between you, but you can clearly see them, and they could hear you if you shout at them.
Imperial
the
citizen,
other group sort of to your side.
I am on the Emperor's duty. Why do you follow us? She's literally shouting at the nearest group that she can see that are following them.
Okay.
She's also not stupid. The bolt gun is loaded, cocked, and in almost firing position.
One of them says, "Well, we haven't never seen armor quite like that before."
This is Adeptus Sororitas power armor, gifted to me. Would you like to come and have a closer look?
Yeah,
all
right.
I'm a servant of the Emperor, and I will. She kind of lowers it down to make it look like she's not being so hostile now, because they might just want to meet an Adeptus Sororitas. Again, not something they see very often.
We'll go and hide in shadows behind a crate.
Yeah, that.
Can Danny Dyer and Brodo Fraggings roll an awareness test as well then?
Awareness.
Yeah.
Just awareness.
Yeah.
3 successes.
That's enough.
See, I get 3 successes on a 3 dice roll, but I got 1 from 9.
It happens. It's the game.
I failed? Yes.
Yep. Danny notices that the gang at the back, the group at the back, is sort of slowly moving around, trying to put a bit of
They're trying to encircle
terrain between themselves and Genevieve, but they're trying to get behind her. And
I'm assuming with my successes, I've also noticed this group's making their way around behind me. Or would you like me to
you're mostly focused on the front group that are keeping you busy by like heckling and going.
Have we got combeads to each other? I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
Boy, sister, you're being encircled.
I figured that this was in danger, and at that point, the bolt gun comes up at the front group. Doesn't shoot them, just puts like a bolt around them. That is a warning shot, citizen. And the group that's behind me, and obviously they've probably not noticed that, but I've been told in my ear there's a group behind me. The next bolt round goes in you. How do they react to supersonic bolters fire going off around them?
I feel like that's an intimidation test.
I mean, I'm not sure how intimidated I can be.
Firing a bolt gun at a bunch of
random
underhive
scum.
Do I get any bonuses for firing my gun in their general direction?
I think. Go on then. I'll give you. Well, I'll.
It's fine if you don't. I've got 4 dice on it.
Yeah, it's a straight up difficulty free test.
I got successes 5. I am very intimidated.
There you
right
go.
Now.
The first group, the group that was shouting at you from the front, just sort of they all scatter and start hiding behind stuff. They haven't really run off yet, but they're definitely keeping low, and they're probably nervously reaching for their weapons. But yeah, you've managed to scatter them, but the group behind you are probably going to react.
Excellent.
Did Brodo and I manage to actually find some decent?
Yeah. There's bits and
we're both
bobs
pretty
of
stealthy.
like pipelines and things like that. Broken shacks you could just walk into and stand behind, basically that kind of thing.
I mean, Sister Genevieve, seeing that they haven't scattered, almost like goes down to one knee and like lowers her position, ready for actual proper combat now.
Yeah.
The intimidation was meant to push them off and drive them away. It hasn't done.
It's kind of broken the first group up, and they're very intimidated. But the second group isn't going to get the drop on you. But
she's kind of swiveled, and she's not now facing either group. She's kind of like sitting in the middle, ready for either group to progress.
How many in the other group?
There's 4 in the other group as well.
I'll be aiming at one of
them. And Sister Genevieve is just sort of standing in the middle of the street.
She's a sister of battle, and if it is her time to die, it is her time to die.
Okay. Fighting
I am a martyr.
Gangers in the slums.
The Emperor wills it.
So, combat.
Yeah.
You get to basically pick who goes first. You don't have any glory yet, I don't think. You haven't picked any up.
Have they made an aggressive move yet? Like, have they actually drawn guns or anything?
Yeah, the back group is clearly reaching for their guns, and to be honest, the front group is nervously reaching for their guns because they're just very worried about this.
I would assume that our rattling would probably take the first shot.
Okay.
Just because you're a sniper, so you're probably already got them in your scope.
Yeah, so I've got
all their guns and stuff.
I am aiming.
Same.
Which gives me a bonus.
Okay.
Does it give you +1 dice?
No, when I... You are a skilled shot trained to carefully target enemies' weak points. When you take aim, which I've done, and make a cooled shot, so I want to do a cooled shot to the guy's head, you double the bonus ED. What's an ED?
Extra damage
dice.
Okay.
So when you do your shot, it'll ask you if there'll be like a little ED box. Just make sure you put a bonus ED dice in there, or however much ED your gun does. I have no idea.
So if I do rattling rifle,
it should count the ED for your gun, which is 1.
ED1
anyway. But then you also add.
To do another one.
Yeah.
Any AP?
Nope.
No.
Not unless your gun's
no. And who are you shooting at? Basically, in both groups. So the one group
of the ones behind
the group behind, is sort of still huddled together. There's 2 with auto guns, and there's another 2 with stub pistols, and a knife.
I'll take one of the auto gun ones. He says, about to dramatically fail a roll.
I would like to see you try with 9 dice. Yeah, you hit him.
Yeah.
To give you an idea, and for people watching at home that might not know the system, so basically you're rolling a ballistic skill dice roll. 4s and 5s are 1 icon, so 1 success, and 6s are 2 icons, so 2 successes. An exalted icon they call it. And you roll that against their defense, which in this case is 1. So you needed 1 success to hit them. You've got
many.
5. Yeah.
12 damage.
You could probably shift some of the 6s as well. Well,
Yeah.
both of the 6s basically, because you got sufficient successes to hit them anyway.
Okay.
With the 5.
Yeah, so you could use the 6s to do special things, can't you?
Yeah, you could use it to increase your damage. So add an extra damage dice per 6, basically. Or you could use it to shift it to glory. So add a glory point per 6 that you shift over. But basically, you need to succeed first, and then you can do things with that shift over.
So how many can I shift?
You can shift both of them, I think.
I will shift both of them to damage.
Because you got
good.
your 1 success.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that basically adds 2 extra dice of damage. So 2 d6s of damage that you can roll now. You did 12 damage anyway, so to be honest,
Yeah, you don't need the extra damage.
Let me see.
I know, but I want to just make a point.
Let me take off his resilience of 2. That leaves you with 10 damage for his wounds of 3. I think it's fair to say, yeah. What
Okay,
I'll say is you knock 2 of them out in one go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll say that.
Because they're a mob basically.
And then can I use my my
Brodo Fraggins just
shoot,
went
sharp and scarper.
and
So
you see
when
2
using a
heads
weapon
go.
Sniper weapon trait, increase the weapon sniper rating by +1 rank. When you make a successful ranged attack test, you may immediately move up to your speed as a reflex action.
Yeah.
So in other words,
You
I'm going
could
to
do that.
scarper from where I am and go find another hiding place.
Yeah, sure.
Further away.
Even
Because it's a sniper
further
rifle
away.
and it's got a shit high range.
Yeah. What is your range on the sniper rifle? It's pretty good, isn't it? It is 18, 36, 54. Yeah. So really, you got what +1 dice to hit anyway, because you were at short range. But there you go. I think you hit them enough. So the 2 auto gunners, yeah, they're like scrambling to get their weapons ready as Genevieve is half turning with the bolt gun, and suddenly these 2 single shots ring out, and you see their heads just turn to watermelons as it goes and they collapse on the floor. It would have maybe been a good idea to bank some glory there, because then you could have used it to seize initiative now, but instead it is my turn. The 2 with the stub pistols are gonna, they're just gonna let loose on the only person they can see, which is Genevieve.
It's glorious.
So yeah, we'll roll that. I don't know what your defense rating is.
3.
I got 2 successes because my Wrath dice was a 6, so it doesn't hit, but it does create some kind of Wrath critical.
Sure.
But it doesn't, because they didn't hit.
Oh. Okay. It's a
Which was
whirlwind
lucky, because the criticals are, if anyone remembers Dark Heresy, they're in similar vein.
I mean, it's the Dark Imperium, right?
I'll roll the second one. Yeah, no, they're nervous. They have no idea what's going on. suddenly two of them have just gone down. This lady in power armor's turned up, started firing bolt gun rounds in the air. And they're just reacting wildly, firing their stubbers off. But it tracks across the street, spewing up some of the rather gross, stinky grease and lubricant, but other than that, doing very little. And then it's back to you lot. Who wants to do what?
Yeah, seeing as I already had an aimed shot lined up, I guess this is where I'd be pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
So how does aiming work? Is it just like a bonus dice or?
Yeah. Let me just find it exactly. Because I'm having a terrible time remembering things today. Aim shots. Damn it. I was mostly expecting Dan to know everything that.
Sorry, my apologies. I didn't have time to read today.
One job, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. So aim, it gives you bonus dice. You cannot make a movement, but you gain 1 bonus dice to range attacks. What are you firing?
I didn't add my aim dice.
A bolt gun.
To be honest, you had a short range dice as well, so you'd have ended up with like 11 dice or something. That's too many dice. You've got enough as it was. You already put 2 of them in the ground.
So yeah, I got 4 successes.
Okay. With your bolt gun. So yeah. And you did
very
2
cool
damage. No 6s. No. Yeah, the Danny Dyer. How does Danny Dyer take down this one bloke with a stubber?
Should have heeded her warning, you mug. Trio of shots.
That's fucking awesome.
The bolt gun round blasts out the end of the barrel and then accelerates away under its own power and punches into the ganger's gut, and then just go on the inside. I'm pretty sure the last one's probably going to run away.
Wait to see what the sister does if he really wants.
Yeah. The other group is still just sort of they're far too worried to even take pot shots at the moment. They're mostly hiding behind whatever they could find. So, Sister Genevieve, it's your go.
So they've stopped firing at me, have they?
Well, there's the one behind that's wildly firing a stubber off as his colleague has just bitten the dust.
Okay, so Genevieve's going to stand back up, looking all pious and glorious and whatnot. And she's actually going to talk to him and say, today you have lost your friends. The Emperor will hopefully guide them to the next life. However, if you wish to keep yours, I suggest you leave. And that's all she's going to do. She's not going to open fire. She doesn't want to open fire on Imperial citizens if she doesn't have to.
Roll for persuade. And I'm going to give you an extra dice for that, because I'm pretty sure at the moment they're very persuaded to stop fighting.
I mean, sure, persuasion. Oh man, that's bad. I've only got persuasion 2, but we'll go with it. Get 1. Cool. I get 2 successes.
2 successes. That will do it in this case, because you just see small groups like break up and start bolting out of cover into the depths of the warrens of this network of houses and tunnels and things.
Excellent.
Really, really want to shoot one as they run away.
Can if you want.
No.
I mean, I feel like I get a point of ruin for that, but
Also, Sister Genevieve did just give them their word that they could just leave. So, like, she would not be appreciative if you shot someone in the back as they were running away.
I'd find it hilarious.
We do not kill Imperial citizens. We do not need to. Onward to the mag lift. And she just goes
Just
stomping off
imagine
again.
the rattling going, but it wasn't me. It was some other guy.
I feel like Sister Genevieve and Danny Dyer are like the two counterweights of Brodo Fraggins' conscience talking to
Devil. Angel.
but which
Fortunately,
is
this
which?
is 40k, so it's all a bit
So
grim.
it's all
Right, well, now Genevieve's walking off, I'm going to go over to the bodies and see if there's anything worth nicking.
Yeah, there's a couple of auto guns, some stub pistols, some very bad looking or very harsh looking drink, and that smells almost the same as the lubricating oil that's dripping down everywhere. So it's almost as if they've been distilling that, and yeah. And other than that, there's not really much on them.
No local currency?
Yeah. Few
Yeah.
bits of scrap.
I'll take whatever local currency they've got. It's always useful.
You're probably not going to get far with it, but it's like, yeah.
I mean, I've got some normal Imperial
Handful
credits,
of-
but having some of the local stuff never hurts.
After that, everyone seems to be giving you a wide berth, and basically most of this street you're walking down, this central kind of street, which is fairly narrow, but in comparison to the ones next to it is almost a boulevard, is entirely silent, and you don't really come across anyone.
I guess Genevieve will just stomp her way purposely
Yeah.
all the way to the mag lift. She's not
Yeah.
wasting any time. We've been sent to do a job. Gonna get a job done in the name of the Emperor.
Kind of look at Frodo as you kind of stroll on. Nice shot, geese.
Oh, thanks
As
very
you-
much, mate. You ruined that other one, that bolter of yours.
Oh, that's why I love this thing. Nothing makes the others cheese it like when you put a bolt round through them.
And fair enough.
Agree. He'll
Yeah.
start tapping himself down for something to eat.
As you reach the mag lift, well, it's sort of a mag rail service, but it has a big Gothic spiral staircase that takes you up to the platform, and the staircase itself goes on far enough that it's almost like you've walked half the way to the upper hive by the time you get the lower hive bit by the time you get to the top to the actual rail service itself. There's just a small collection of these carts that stop every now and then. People get on and off, shuffling in without looking at each other as quickly as possible. It closes and leaves again. Anyone who doesn't get on in time has to wait for the next one, because it just funnels people about in a set motion.
I mean, the Grimdark sounds like London. Just saying.
Yeah, well, you know, can't
Genevieve,
get grimmer than the
Genevieve,
underground.
without even like breaking her step, just like basically pushes through everybody to get to the front. Probably leaving a lot of angry people, but at the end of the day, if someone with power armor comes pushing through you, so,
Yeah. Yeah, you barge through them, and it takes you to a once you get on board and it leaves, it's basically a circle track that goes up through the lower hive to various parts, and then back down to this station, and then up again and around. It doesn't seem to go any further than the lower hive itself, but
While we're on our way up, Genevieve's holding her chaplet and she's saying a prayer of the repentant. So for the fallen imperial citizens who gave their life in the Emperor's duties. In other words, the criminals who died from our shots. But it's her duty to still send them on their way.
and send them on their way you did.
They were going there anyway. We just sped it up.
Genevieve doesn't even look up. She just continues uttering her prayers.
That's good because you won't notice the rattling rolling his eyes.
As you're entering the lower hive, it looks marginally better than the slums you came out of. The streets are slightly wider. There's a lot more people in them though, and they're all shuffling about on their various duties in their daily routines that they all follow strictly. And occasionally you hear some crackling as these loud hailers and speakers that are everywhere outside on the streets go off, but you can't quite from this distance make out what they're saying as the cart goes round and round. But they seem to be everywhere, and either muttering prayers to the people as they go about their business or telling them what to do. Who knows?
Probably telling them to get to work, innit? Is there someone that looks a bit less scummy than the people that came up on the rail with us? Like people that are actually from the lower hive rather than the under hive?
Yeah. You're passing a bunch of stops now, basically, and everyone who's on there now is probably from the lower hive. They just look like your bog standard imperial citizens.
All right, I'll talk on. You're right, Geese. We need to get upstairs. Do you know the quickest way to get there?
What, to the manufactorium?
Upper hive, mate. Upper hive.
What are you down here for then if you need to be in the upper hive?
Unfortunately, our lander drops us at the bottom. Bit rubbish, innit? You'd have thought they'd have had a bloody landing pad for us upstairs. Mugs.
Well, I don't know, I assumed they did for that sort of thing. We don't really get upper hive people come down here unless they're here to tell us what to do or sending the Arbitus.
Well,
But
go upper hive, but what's
stares
the
off
best way
into
to
the
get there,
distance for a moment. I don't know, get off at the central station, and I imagine there's a lift there to the manufactoriums. Once you're up there, I assume there's something that goes from there to the upper hive. I don't know. Who goes up there?
Well, we've got to go sort out some muppet upstairs. Cheers, though.
It looks at you kind of strangely, but yeah, and continues running through his prayers.
Right, well, we've got to wait till we get to the central stop then.
Yeah. You want to do anything else while you're on the mag line, or?
I mean,
Talk to anyone.
Sister Genevieve has gone from prayers and hearing the citizens making prayers. She's gone to delivering almost like a sermon and talking to them about the Emperor's grace.
They already know we're coming now.
Yeah, I mean, Sister Genevieve is not stealthy in any way, shape, or form.
Or subtle.
Yes, we noticed.
It doesn't pay to be subtle.
Do you want to give me another awareness check if you're going to give him a lecture on the Emperor's grace?
Yeah, sure.
And we'll make that if we're watching.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 successes.
Awareness.
You're entirely taken over by
More
your
successes.
pursuit of saving their souls and telling them of the Emperor's great deeds. So you're not really watching the crowd on the magrail.
Dan got 6 successes. I got 4.
And
we both got a
yeah, you
rank
both
critical.
got ref critical, so you get 2 points of glory. I'll change that for the people at home as well. Oop. Give me a second.
We're apparently really aware of things.
Yeah. And other than that, what you mostly notice is people, and especially people who look a slightly bit more official or probably in charge of a few things, are looking rather uncomfortable at this sermon that's going on. And a lot of people are kind of not turning away but lowering their heads and making prayers of their own.
It's a good job Sister Genevieve did not see
Didn't
that.
notice that, because that would...
What kind of prayers? Still to the Emperor,
They're-
right?
Can we try and
they're
listen
mostly-
into one of their prayers?
Yeah. What do you want to do with your RAF criticals?
What can I do
Also,
with them?
Dan, you got 6 successes and you only needed 3, so you have 2 extra 6s. No, you'd have to spend one of them anyway. So yeah, your RAF criticals is basically some kind of bonus that you want to add to this scene in some way. You could
we
use it for
listen
that.
To an individual's prayers to see what they're saying. If they look uncomfortable, I'm trying to listen in to see, because obviously I ain't no priest, but I know a prayer or two.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to see if theirs are a bit, little bit wrong, little bit.
Can we use that bonus to basically identify if their prayers are the correct prayers to the throne?
Yeah, you can use one of them for that, and then you've still got one left. Also, you can shift those dice.
Glory.
You can shift one of those dice. You could turn it into glory, or you could use it for more information again, or something.
I want to shift one to glory.
Yeah. Okay, so that now you're up at 3 glory, which is, you can do something with that. Just trying to change it on the screen for people at home. There we go. And yeah, you hear them mumbling these prayers. They are to the Emperor. They sound kind of a bit strange. They're like very specific about hive Cretch, and there's a lot of mention of Lord Gneaus as well, and very little in the way of your standardized imperial.
So it sounds like they're praying
prayers.
more towards him than to the Emperor.
They're praying towards the Emperor, but it sounds like it's a direct line, like it's going up through him straight to the Emperor.
Yeah,
as far as they're concerned.
Low tone to Brodo. I think this geezer has been telling these guys porky pies. All they're talking about is they seem to be thinking this geezer's some kind of holy thing.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Nah, it doesn't to me either. I think the sister would know more, but I wouldn't go telling her right now. She'd probably shoot this lot up.
That sounds like fun. Go and tap her on the shoulder.
Are you actually doing that?
Yeah. Tap, 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 tap. But it's not on your shoulder. It's because he's much shorter than you. It's more sort of like on your hip. Excuse me, sister. Excuse. In fact, no, he's not even tapping on you. He's pulling on your cape, on your robe. Sister.
Master
Excuse me,
Fraggins, I am
sister.
busy delivering a sermon to the Imperial citizens.
I don't think the Imperial citizens are praying properly, sister.
What do you mean? And she's looking at the ones in front of her who are essentially copying her sermon.
These ones over here, sister, points. Seem to be identifying the Lord, the Hive Lord.
The ones at the front are sort of looking very uncomfortable and seemingly daring. say the prayers they want to, but yeah, the ones in the rows behind have gone back to mumbling prayers over little icons that they've got hold of.
Oh, let's have one.
Sister Genevieve stomps over. Obviously, not full Space Marine stomping because she's not that big, but she's stomping in power armor over to him. Imperial citizen, your prayer recited to me.
And they look up at you with wide eyes at that point when you all get to roll for athletics as the mag train comes to a sudden, very jolting halt.
Oh dear. Despite having 6 dice, I did not do very well. I only got 1 pass.
I completely failed.
I was
What does
still
Glory
sat
let us
down.
do?
You can re-roll dice. Right, there we go. You can also spend you have 2 RAF points each as well. I'll tell you what those do first, and then I'll tell you what Glory does, and then we'll all remember what Glory and RAF does. No. Let me just find it so I read it off properly. Basically, usually, I think with your RAF dice, you can re-roll your failed dice if you want. So, well, your RAF points on it.
I mean, I'm
There's
probably
RAF
not going to use a
points.
reroll now.
Yeah, I'm not using my reroll either.
So-
for this.
You can spend your RAF points to re-roll failures. You can make a narrative declaration, so a small minor like something in the scene, or you can restore shock with it. And basically, you only get RAF points back if you do something exceptional. And I go, yeah, sure, you can have one for that, same as Faith. Glory, you can spend to increase your dice pool by 1 for every glory that you spend. Which you can do after failing using a RAF point, and then you can decide to add points to it and roll those. You can use it to increase damage, you can use it to increase the severity of a critical hit, and you can use it to seize the initiative.
Yeah, I don't really see the need to.
Oh no, yeah, we don't need that. No, it's good
So,
to know.
did any of you succeed? No.
I mean, got 1 success, but I'm assuming that's not enough.
Yeah, no. It's, you all get hold off your feet at the same
Even if we were sat
time.
down.
The people in their seats as well are also all thrown about.
Is it like we get
and
thrown
you
up, or are we getting knocked prone?
No, you're just falling forwards as it suddenly screeches to a halt. Someone at the front slammed the brakes on, and everyone flies forwards, and you're thrown off of your feet.
I do believe power armor has the ability to avoid being knocked prone, but I think that might be potentially with a weapon rather than a thing like that. Ooh, sorry, just bear with me.
What the throne was that?
And you see the person at the front of the mag train sort of scrambling towards one of the comms units and shouting in it, "We have intruders in the lower hive."
So you hear like the as the power armor like sort of fires up as like Sister Genevieve pulls herself back up and goes stomping towards the person who just put the mag train on stop.
Can I shoot him before he gets to the comm unit?
He's already at the comm unit
Oh,
and
okay.
he's talking into it, but you could like shoot him while he's halfway through his message, which would both make it more difficult for them to locate you, but also make it very obvious that there's people with guns here shooting people.
Okay, I'll leave it.
So as he hasn't shot him, Genevieve will get to the bloke, the person who's behind it, and like put him up against the wall. Why have you stopped the mag train, Imperial citizen? We are not intruders. We are here on the Emperor's duties.
Does anyone else get a RoboCop vibe?
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
that Lord Gneaus, he told us people like you would come, and
Servants of the Emperor?
you're not servants of the Emperor. You're just pretending. We know what you're about, and the people
You can
behind
see the
you are
physical
already
cramp on her
sort
face
of
as she's being
scrambling
accused
to get out of the mag train and run off.
her grip gets a little bit tighter, and she kind of pushes him up the wall a little bit way through. Citizen, I am a servant of the Emperor. I serve the Adeptus Sororitas of the Valorous Heart. We have served the Emperor since times innumerable. Now, and she drops him on the floor. And then, which button makes this train move forward? I will go speak to this
I
lord.
was going to say, can I go and see if I can get the train moving?
Can I, while they're all doing this, can I nick one of these holy symbols?
Yeah.
That they were.
So that's 3 rolls. One to either intimidate or persuade the person into telling you how it works. Danny Dyer can roll some kind of text roll to see if you can get it started anyway.
Not intimidate
Tech.
at all.
Oh,
And
I'm not even going to try that.
I've got a pilot 4.
and
I've got pilot at 5, I don't have tech.
Oh,
Brodo.
we know how to hang glide.
Frodo
I've got
can
tech 2.
roll a stealth check to try and swipe one of the icons from one of the people trying to run away.
Yes.
Okay.
3 6s. That's
So-
pretty good, isn't it? Okay, my head around the rules.
7 successes.
Okay. Yeah.
And anything else they might have had
pretty
on their person.
There's just now a nude person standing in the middle of the train.
What happened? I knew they were. Genevieve tries to convince the Imperial citizen to give up the secrets of this mag train. He just screams in her face, "You serve heresy!"
Oi,
At that point,
can I
he's dead.
stick- Oh, damn it.
And she would absolutely not get put up with being called heretical in any way, shape, or form. At that point, she'd put him on the floor and then power armor boot to his face.
And Brodo, you have managed to successfully grab one of these icons off of one of the people fleeing the train. You've got an extra 6 that you could shift. So shifting, you could either shift it to gain glory, you could use it to gain extra information, or
use it to gain extra
improve
information.
the quality of a test, or improve your speed, or do
Use it to
extra
gain
damage.
extra information about the faith. Like, does this person perhaps also have some sort of pamphlet or religious text on them as well that I could have relieved them of? That might go into a little bit about what
No,
they believe.
but you're holding this icon, and it's basically the image of a finely dressed imperial noble looking up at the sky with his hands outstretched, and some ray of sunshine or something shining down at him. And as you're holding it up to look at it at the light, you realise as you move it to the side a bit that the very exact same image is being constructed in massive version a few blocks away from you, because you could already see it sort of climbing up into the sky.
Our brief was to get proof, right?
Your brief was to get proof that they assumed was probably already there and just deal with it. I think most of the brief was deal with it.
Okay, come on.
Right. Can I use a glory point and to make it a bit easier to try and sort out how to make this thing work?
So you can use a glory point to increase your dice pool on a roll. So if you wanted to roll tech, you could roll it first and then use glory to add a dice afterwards if you fail.
Can I do that? I've got to test
sure.
this.
So you'd need one extra success to get it working.
Yes.
There you go. So your glory's gone down. The combined pool that you have has gone down to 2. And really, like, you didn't ask anyone else, so I should really gain a point of wrath for that, but I'll be nice. And yeah,
kind of
Danny
makes it work a bit like the Fonz does with a jukebox.
Danny's just
gives it a good
trying to work it out
and
then just slams his fist down on it and it sort of jolts forwards and slowly it starts moving again. Almost everyone has run off out of it though, and you're just stuck there, the three of you on your lonesome with...
As Genevieve slowly crushes a man's throat with her boot, reciting the uphold the honour of the Emperor. Just reciting that as she slowly crushes the life out of this man. And he dies, I'm assuming.
I don't think there's any more doubt about it now.
Such heresy cannot be tolerated.
I'll hold out
as the train keeps moving, and Brodo's holding out the icon, you're going to start slowly moving around the side of this massive... It looks like it's probably being built as some form of church.
Can I try and speed the thing up?
It's pretty much set to a single motion. It either stops or it goes.
See, I like to think I know my saints, and I don't recognise any of those saints, I tell you.
That is because, Mr. Fraggins, they are not.
Isn't that the geezer from the briefing?
It's the geezer from this holy symbol as well.
Yeah,
this is the Baron. Or Duke or Lord or whatever he was.
Such heresy, such depredation.
He's dead now. Look, our brief is to make sure this guy is to deal with it, so we need to find this guy and deal with it. I don't think we should be on this train anymore. We need to get up there more subtly and more tactfully than driving on a train. So I would suggest we get off and nick a vehicle, personally, but I'm open to suggestions.
Are there any service things that we could stop at rather than...
Roll your Hive Explorer again. See if you do better this time. Ooh.
5 successes with a Wrath critical.
So you could potentially shift one of those 6s.
Yeah, I'll do that. It's another point of glory.
Yeah.
Unless I can use one to instead find us a service thing with a way up.
Well, you could maybe use your Wrath critical for that. For the extra information. Okay. You're pretty sure that there's probably a network of tunnels that feed around the side of this mag line for various reasons, repairs, and just in general. It's all of these hives have masses of tunnels underneath them where machines and things lay that no one really understands. And you could probably take one of those to the exterior of the hive, and from there there's usually an exterior ladder network that climbs all the way up.
All right, I'll basically relay that to the others. Right, what I think we do, we get off here, we get in that tunnel, get outside, get up a ladder, then we'll be near the geese we've got to pop, and then we break his legs.
Is that your plan? You're just going to break his legs? Be like, stop
I'm gonna
being
break his legs
heretic.
and let the sister put her chainsword right through his face.
She doesn't have a chainsword. I wish she did. She doesn't.
All right, I'll put my chainsword right through his face.
Okay. So yeah, you could you get off, you stop it sort of in between a couple of stations, and there's a few of these service hatches that you have to wind open that lead into tunnel networks under the, well, sort of under the manufactorium level, but above the lower hive bit. It leads up, and then it creates a kind of service network for utilities, of which the Imperium has endless complex versions of things that no one really gets. Let me just open that then. It is pretty clear from the moment you open the door, though, that these tunnels are very dark and filled with a sort of thick, greasy smog.
I mean, Sister Genevieve, does she have anything on her armor that allows her to go through that? I don't think I did any armor upgrades. So I don't know if the power armor has any sort of like generic.
Have you got anything like Norsepex or something built into your armor?
No,
I have a bionic eye.
There you go.
bionic eye. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Just wondering if she had.
Hold on, let me check.
Basically,
It says augment, night eye augment.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it sort of helps.
Ignore
Danny
test
and Danny and Sister Genevieve can't really see more than a few meters through this thick smog, but Brodo has. You can see sort of the difference between the hiss of steam in pipes next to you and this dark black mass of smog in front of you. So you can sort of use that to navigate your way in kind of like predator vision through through the tunnel network. However, Brodo probably doesn't know where he's going.
Don't worry, I can guide you. I know how these tunnels work. I've used them enough times to transport things.
We'll double team it. One looking, one telling the way.
While you're doing that, can you?
Sister Genevieve has just closed her eyes and is trusting the Emperor to guide her.
Well, you can give me a sort of combined survival test then to move your way through it. And also, is anyone like on the lookout, or are you just trying to make your way through?
Well, we'll be listening out because there's not going to be a lot of noise around.
Well, anyone who wants can make an awareness test as well.
There we go.
So that was my survival.
I shall make one because it's the Emperor guiding me. No, I got 2 successes.
Danny succeeded at surviving, but couldn't hear a thing whilst doing it.
Not a clue.
Yeah. So all of you just hear... Most of what you can hear is machines working around you. Occasionally you hear this tinny noise of one of those loud hailers beneath you. And a couple of times from above you, but you still can't really make out what they're saying. And the whole area is this mass of darkness, close in greasy smog that is covering your clothing with a layer of the lubricating oil, and really loud, deafening noises coming from the machines that are all about in these tunnels. Danny does make some headway, moving through the tunnels towards the exterior, purely on instinct. Like, you know this sort of place from other hives you've been in, from the one you grew up in, the one you're most used to. Where is that, by the way, Danny?
Danny's from Necromunda, innit? Grew up with our Sawlock. Represents where I got my bolt gun. We make them.
Alright. So my armor does have some built-in stuff, but the GM can decide at what level I'm allowed to have built into my armor. So I can have pre-sense goggles, but they're rare, so they probably wouldn't be built in. But I can have a respirator and Vox bead and stuff. So
yeah,
I imagine she's breathing at least fresh air right now.
Yeah.
Well, recycled.
Yeah.
Got to be better than the stuff that's in here with us.
You're breathing the recycled air. The rest of you is sort of it's sticking to every breath that you walk. So Danny's got a cloth over your face. You've got a rebreather of some kind. What's Brodo doing?
He's probably just so short he's below the smog, right?
I'd have to have a kerchief over my face as well. Unless I have a rebreather, which is unlikely given Imperial issue equipment. Excuse me.
No, that stuff's only built into power armor. The stuff I was just listing anyway. So,
I mean, you can get separate ones, but
yeah. It must be unsettling because every time you turn around, Sister Genevieve is following you, but her eyes are closed, and you're not entirely sure how she's following you.
Because we're walking down a straight pipe.
Yes. You change direction every now and again, so you know.
Yeah. So, as you're walking down this pipe, you can all give me a toughness roll.
Just toughness.
Oh no.
Genevieve gets +2 for the rebreather, and you get +1 for your mask that you've built around.
Wunderbar.
You have a complication though.
Oh, bloody hell.
We've both got a complication.
We've all got a complication.
Everyone's got a complication. Okay, I'll make it all the same complication. Yeah. The rebreather's doing a good job of filtering out this thick, greasy smog. But whatever it is, it's nothing like Danny's ever tasted or smelt in any other hive. And it's really creeping into the kerchief or rag or whatever you've got over your mouth now. It's almost like getting into your throat. and you find yourself coughing every now and then as it sort of gets in there, and your eyes are starting to water. But that counts for everyone. That's your complication. Like, even though Genevieve can breathe properly as well, it's still stinging your eyes and starting to water.
Pain is but the Emperor's gift to those martyrs willing to listen.
And that's also roughly the point where you become aware of this scurrying around you that you hadn't noticed before.
Joy of joys. Can I shift one of my extra 6s to a glory point as well? Because I got 2 6s. And that would still give me enough successes.
Yeah, that'd still give you... Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, because I feel like we're going to need him soon.
What's the quickest way out of here that Danny would be aware of?
Well, you're sort of working in conjunction with Brodo to find a way out. And at the moment you can't really see much light or anything. So you're really working on instinct. You'll both need to give me another survival test. But this one's going to be a rank higher.
Survival.
Because you can't see or... and you're
you make it a rank higher?
suffering.
Change the DN level.
Oh no,
to 4.
yeah. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, you can change it on the thingy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you can change it on the roll.
Just change it to 4.
Oh wow, passed.
There you go.
Point of glory.
I got 6 successes.
Rock on. That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
you
can
also
shift
got-
to 6 quite comfortably.
Okay. What do you want to do with the 6?
Extra information on how the hell to get out.
Well, you're pretty sure with the survival roll, you're pretty sure you know the way out now. Do you want to use that for anything else, or?
Okay, so do I know how far the way out is?
It's another few tunnels down, so it's probably going to be like another kilometre or so stretch through this smog.
Alright, can I use it to know a better way of keeping this mist out of my eyes or mouth or whatever?
The mist itself, it's not like, it's a weird kind of machine lubrication, but you know some tricks from your time in other hives and near manufactoriums and the places where House Orlock builds their bolters and stuff like that. And
they build a lot
you
of
can
weapons for the Imperium, so
you come up with a method basically of you get a fresh rag out and you coat the inside of it with some of the gun grease from your bolter, put it over your face. It's not pleasant, but it's helping a bit more to sort of keep it out of your throat.
alright, I'll share that with Brodo as well. Because he'll have gun oil as well.
Yeah.
That helps.
Also, people don't try this at home. It's not a good idea.
Also, I'll have my chainsaw out, hearing all of the noise around me.
Yeah. Are you investigating the noise any further, or are you just making straight for...
Where's the noise coming from? Is it literally like at our feet, or?
It seems to be towards like the out ends of the tunnels, and it's echoing down inside.
So we're walking towards it.
You might be walking towards part of it. Yeah, it seems to be a lot of different noises that are sort of overlapping, and they're echoing through all of these tunnels.
All right, we'll see what we can hear when we get closer.
I imagine the ringing noises of power boots hitting the deck are probably also making quite an echo.
Burn. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you're approaching the edge to the outer exterior at the moment. Does anyone mind if we take a quick break, maybe?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind
Just
a
for,
quick
like-
5-minute
Okay. Yeah,
facilities.
Nip off anyway. Yeah.
because Roger's run off anyway, so it might be the ideal moment. So yeah, we'll be back with more Bolter and Blade in just a little bit. In about 10 minutes maybe. We'll see you then. Hello, and we're back for part 2 of By Bolter and Blade. And yeah, we'll get kicked off straight away with the team bursting out into what isn't really daylight because it's mostly just reflected light from this archaeotech dome that sits over the top of the hive city that no one really knows who or what it was built by, but they're using it to keep the city alive on a big moon. So you move out into the light and find an exterior ladder that basically shifts all the way up to the top of the hive.
Right. This is going to be an hell of a climb, but at least
Yeah.
we'll get up there and be able to shoot that bastard right in the face.
Who's carrying me?
I'm going to start climbing.
Just cling to the back of Sister Genevieve's power armor
Like Yoda.
with your rifle.
I mean, she's in power armor. She's not like superhuman space marine. Like she's still a human. She can't carry you.
If it's a lift, is there a button for the lift?
No, it's
a ladder.
ladders. It's a bunch of ladders that interconnect and go all the way up. That maybe some naughty people from Necromundia use back in Necromundia for smuggling things back
Nah,
and
I
forth.
don't know what you're talking about, Gov. Everything was legal.
And that's how Danny Dyer knows of such things. As you're moving up, though, now you can quite clearly hear these sirens and speakers on the inside, and they're blasting out news of heretics walking amongst the people and claiming that they have come exactly as Lord Gneaus knew they would, dressed as imperial servants, wolves in the clothing of saints. And yeah,
So much rage on Sister Genevieve's face right now. So
We
much
can't see
rage.
because she's got a helmet on.
No, she hasn't a helmet on. She's not wearing a helmet.
Okay.
She's not wearing a Sabbath Crusade helmet. She's just wearing a sister armor. Just has the Reaver thing built into the front here.
yeah. Just
These bloody
pulls
Muppets
up
don't
or
even
something.
realise they're worshipping the
just your
wrong
gorget.
geezer.
Yeah. As you're climbing up, you hear a bunch of noises, really, from all around. There's people out looking everywhere. You can see in through the gaps in between houses and buildings, looking into the hive, that there's enforcers and what look to be soldiers or a militia of some kind running around looking for you.
If you want to get to this geezer to put an end to his heresy, you better try and keep a low profile, sister.
There is no low profile. These are all heretics and they will pay for their heresy.
Well, in that case, anyone who wants to can roll for stealth, and we'll see what your stealth numbers do.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to roll for stuff.
But if certain members of the team don't want to be stealthy, they don't have to.
If they don't
won't
want to
make
be,
it.
I am still going to be stealthy.
That's fine.
5 successes.
Okay, so basically that makes your stealth number 5.
Stealth number 2.
Yeah. You tried it. Your stealth number is 2, so you might hide from someone who's not looking.
I mean, white alabaster power armor
It's
with red,
gleaming.
bright red.
gleaming in this reflected distant sunlight, like getting
and she's
cast
got like
off of
bright
the
red robes on as well. Like it's white with red against the hanging out from under her arms, and her robes in her front. It's like, yeah, it's pretty bright.
the lights
stands
cast off of the dome like a prism and just reflecting off of your alabaster
Yeah, I'm actually going
armor and shining out into the
like a
streets.
holy
distance.
follower of the emperor.
I think I got successes.
Yeah, you got 6 successes.
2 6 doubles. 2 sixes.
So you could claim your stealth score as 6, or you could use one of those 6s, or
Claim my stealth score as 6.
Yeah.
Just do what I'm doing and keep a
Go on,
distance
I'm
from
a
the one in
shadow.
power armor.
Yeah. Shadow.
Okay.
If all goes to pot, the rendezvous is to transport.
Yeah, you notice a bunch of groups looking for you, and like occasionally see like red dots of las lights going past, or the torches underneath them shining out in all directions. And then as you're climbing, you're sort of halfway through the manufactorium level now, pretty much approaching the upper hive level, and as you're moving through it, suddenly one of these lights just briefly shines over Sister Genevieve as she's climbing, and then sort of as it goes past, does a double take, comes back and sort of locks onto this white alabaster power armor with red cloak. And then a bunch of red lights start moving out, like trying to track her as she climbs, and you hear shouting and running.
Well, I'll be covering her from
Can
a
I
distance.
try and divert route?
What you gonna? Sorry, you.
So like going sideways. No, I try and divert our route, so go sideways around a bit and basically try and throw them off a
Okay.
bit.
Yeah. You and Brodo are still hidden at this point.
Yeah, I'm keeping my distance, but I can calm Genevieve and tell her where to go.
Yeah.
Sister Genevieve, knowing she's been spotted, no longer trying to hide.
Well,
She goes out to these
There's-
people
yeah.
On the manufactorum level.
on the manufactorum level. Is that where we are? I thought we got up to the upper hive.
You're
no,
sort
no,
of
we're still
halfway
fine.
up the manufactorium level now, yeah.
Oh, okay, then
We're
she's gonna
nowhere
keep.
near
She
our
will
top.
keep. Oh, okay, I thought she was closer to the top, but she'll keep
Like,
climbing.
you
then.
could fire your bolter off into
No.
the
She's just gonna
street
keep climbing.
as you
These
go.
are imperial citizens that have been lied
Yeah.
to and cheated. So she will keep climbing for now.
As you climb, like a few stray lasgun shots fire off where you were previously, and you hear running. And as you're climbing up, figures start appearing below you, and they're looking up, trying to get shots off. So far, they haven't noticed Danny Dyer and Brodo Fraggins.
Sister, you might need to be a diversion so Brodo and I can do what needs to be done.
I will do the Emperor's will.
Yeah, there's like a little huddle of about 6 what look by their equipment to probably be local militia, some kind of hive militia.
So are they PDF, Planetary Defense
Yeah.
Force, or are they actually Imperial Guardsmen?
They're only
No,
PDF,
they're not
bunch of
guardsmen,
monks.
but yeah, they're like probably Lord Gneaus' own personal attempt at a PDF force.
These Muppets don't have their own radios. Shoot the one with the Vox. Job done.
Is there one with a Vox?
Yeah, there's one in the group carrying
I will
like a
shoot the
very
one with the
bulky, heavy Vox unit.
I will shoot him.
Shoot the Vox.
Go on then.
Right, I'm going to aim.
I mean,
Yeah.
are you able to aim while you're hanging off a ladder?
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay. Sister Genevieve is going to use her power-bodied frame to kind of lean out of the ladder, so he's actually got some ground to stand on.
Oh, I like that.
Sister Genevieve is actually acting as a perch
Yeah.
right now.
And Brodo is sort of standing on it, aiming his rifle over your shoulder on the big power armor. Okay, then I was going to give you a penalty, but I'm not now.
Oh, good. There you go. Oh, got one.
Yeah.
Got a few ones.
Yeah, but you
So the
do
combat
actually hit. And
Complication is the bullet goes through the Vox box as well.
It doesn't sound like a complication.
yeah, that sounds like it's very much in your advantage.
Well, it's funny you mention that. Can I use a thingy point to change the narrative?
Oh, Wrath point. I like it.
To change the narrative to
Okay.
that. Does that work?
I'm not sure it does, but go on then. I'll let
Excellent, thank you, boss.
I'll let you spend a wrath
Thank you,
point for
boss.
that to clear your wrath complication. So yeah, basically leaning out on Sister Genevieve, peering over her shoulder with this rattling rifle leaned against big old pauldrons on her power armor. You fire a shot, and just as whoever's in charge of this militia grabs the Vox box to talk into it, the bullet sort of pings out through his hand, through the box, straight into the Vox carrier, and they collapse on the floor, and the other one's holding his hand like but a bunch of las gun shots do start pelting up towards you, as they now have a fairly good idea where you are.
I imagine we keep climbing at that point. Post-hasted as well.
Well, I'm going to fire off a couple of shots, and then you can roll an athletics test to see how fast you can climb away.
Just see Dan's face, knowing full well he's got athletics too.
Should have stayed hidden. First shot misses. Second shot is aiming for the big white and red target up ahead. What's your
That doesn't even scratch me.
no? What's your damage? What's your defense first? Did
My defense is 3. Oh, you hit me. Yeah,
so
definitely
it
hit me.
hit.
But my
Okay.
resilience is 10, so it just.
Yeah, but there is a wrath critical on it, so I do something.
Oh no.
Nah, we'll let it slide because
It pings
Oh, no,
off.
I did hit you.
It pings
Yeah,
off her
so-
You did hit
gauntleted
me.
hand,
yeah.
and she has to take other, and she might accidentally let go of the ladder.
It does. It smashes into your gauntlet after dinging off of the side of your shoulder, and your fingers sort of flex slightly in the power armor. You feel the grip sort of give way a bit whilst you're still trying to hold on. So for your athletics test in a minute, yours will be a DN4, where the rest is a DN3.
But I'm leaning on her.
Yeah.
So if
You
she
wanna
goes, should I have a minus as well?
If you want. Sure, go for it.
Okay. Well,
So with athletics 2, you want to give yourself.
Myself.
Yeah. Okay. So as these other shots are like firing up towards you, you start climbing as fast as you possibly can.
Is this the point where we we
Yeah,
now roll
you can-
dice?
You can roll your athletics tests.
So it
Oof.
goes down to DN what?
It
Two.
goes
It's
up to
DM4,
Oh my god.
except for Danny Dyer, who's still well hidden and is just
I'm
scrambling
not
up.
stopped, I'm keeping-
Just keep going. Yeah.
I completely failed.
That's because Danny knows what the mission is.
Pretty sure you told the sniper to shoot the guy, which has got us in his trouble.
I don't know. I was just commenting that PDF don't carry individual vaccines.
I got 4 successes even on the hard DN.
Yeah, that's enough. So Genevieve sort of grips hold again. Your power armor starts repairing whatever minor damage there was to its internal workings, and you start pulling yourself back up. But Brodo, who was standing or had sort of scooted off to the side so that you could both start climbing, loses his grip a bit and is dangling there precariously, roughly in the same position as before.
So,
Bugger!
Whilst
rather
below
than
you,
climbing, rather than climbing, I will use my athletics pass to go back and essentially help him back onto the ladder. So potentially putting more shots on her, because that is what she would do. She's protecting a loyal citizen, and also as a
She's being nice to a mutant.
abhuman, not mutant.
Abhuman, yeah.
Abhuman.
Are you positioning yourself between
him
Brodo
and the shots as well,
the shots?
Because
okay.
one of the things I rolled for her was accomplishment, and it was saving souls. So that's something she's done previously. She puts her life on the line for Imperial citizens. He is an Imperial citizen, and has, as to this point, shown himself to be actually quite pious as well by pointing out heretics. So she is positioning herself between the shots, girding herself for shots to hit her, and then trying to help him onto the ladder properly, whilst continuing to shield him as they climb.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Isn't that
What?
a responsible
Bloody
member of the
beautiful.
Imperium?
Yeah.
Bloody beautiful, he says as he's climbing up the ladder.
As he's climbing up the ladder, like probably several hundred meters away from you at this point. Just, I'll just keep going.
That's what heroes do.
Let's see, did that hit? It did not. They're not really good at this, are they? Does a 4 hit?
Yeah, 4 would hit. I'm defense free, but
Damage one's not gonna. Yeah, it's still
damage
pinging
7
off
so
of your.
yeah.
Go on then, one last shot. No. So yeah, a bunch of lasgun shots ping off of your armor, and for heroically sacrificing yourself to save your fellow assassin, basically. What do you want? A point of faith or a point of wrath?
A point of faith.
There you go.
Yeah.
You keep climbing, but these militiamen are hot in pursuit now.
Are they now climbing on the ladder?
Yeah, they're trying to get up as well, so it won't be as easy for them to shoot at you, but, you know.
I mean,
They're also...
we're probably just going to get to the top and, like, cut it off, right, so they fall.
Well, you're getting close to the top now. Is that what you want to do?
I mean, I imagine that's probably what we would do, right? We would just, like, boot off the top of the ladder and just, like...
I'd imagine the planetary governor is at the top, which is where they would normally be.
Yeah, the area it sort of leads to is the upper hive area. And then from there you could move through to give you an idea. Again, I will move you back to the area you're looking to get to.
Imagine he's right up there.
Is, yeah, that bit right here, which is the target area.
Right, so
And at the moment, you're sort of you're coming up to this sort of bit.
So when I get to where we're aiming for,
Yeah.
I'm going to sneak through on my own, and I'm going to see if I can, procure, shall we say, a bit of a disguise for myself and Brodo, because
There
I'm
appear
good,
to
but
be
I can't cover
like,
up power armor.
She wouldn't
As
let you
well.
even if you tried.
Yeah. As well as this sort of personal PDF force, there appear to be some better equipped, maybe sort of better disciplined looking groups also roaming the streets of that upper hive area. They've got slightly nicer uniforms and better weapons. Can you make an awareness test as you're like trying to track down one of these groups that you could possibly pinch some? Are you going to try and steal?
From a soldier.
Oh, well, you could do.
No, just like a, I've seen enough films where they nick something from a washing line.
The upper hive washing lines of Hive Cretch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what I mean. There might be a shop or something where there's something that I could,
Well,
say, half-inch.
give me an awareness test for that then.
Awareness.
Can I help?
Yeah.
I was hoping it'd be stealth to steal something.
You got to find something first.
Can I aid the roll?
You and Genevieve are still currently trying to climb up away from these soldiers.
No,
Yeah, you can't. Most of the places around here look locked down. The big Fox units stuck in the wall are shouting bloody murder about these heretics in imperial clothing walking amongst the people, and there's soldiers marching about everywhere. Small bands of usually about 6 militiamen or 4 of these tougher looking yacht wandering around in groups patrolling the area, and everything looks fairly locked down.
not even so much as tablecloth.
I'll give you a tablecloth if you want, but Genevieve and Brodo Fraggins, what are you doing? You're getting to the top of the ladder now as well, where you've seen Danny Dyer disappear off into the darkness of the hive itself.
Sister Genevieve's just going to use her power armored boot and smash off the ladder, basically.
I too will be looking for a disguise.
Genevieve, can you roll? Well, I suppose it's like, yeah,
Is it a
just a
strength
weapon skill test.
Okay, yeah, sure. Five successes.
Nice. Yeah, your boot comes crunching down and you feel it give way. Your damage is your strength +1 on the extra dice.
So strength 5, so 6
Unless
damage.
you want to use one of those to increase it to 2 extra dice, or
Oh, I could.
and you can
could-
shift, yeah, or you could shift one, or
Oh no, I'll use one for the extra damage then.
yeah. You also have a complication.
Do I have to do that complication because I passed?
Yeah, that's the fun of complications
okay.
or criticals.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I'll let you roll first, and then
What am I rolling? How many dice am I rolling?
so your strength plus 2 extra dice in this case.
Okay. Roll. So I need a dice. So it's my strength plus. Okay, so that plus that plus that. 7 successes.
So that's
So is that
yes,
7 damage?
No, it's wait.
Because normally damage is
Oh
just
no, it's your strength because it's unarmed damage.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, it would have been. It would have just been
for your
5.
strength
I thought it
plus
was
2, plus 2
2.
dice,
Yeah. So
which
plus
could well
2.
be 7 damage.
Okay, so I just need to roll
So,
2 dice.
just-
Sorry.
yeah.
My bad. Yes. It's.
It is 7.
Yeah,
It is in fact 7 damage. Yeah. There you go.
The Emperor
Yeah.
guides and protects.
Yeah. The Emperor was letting you know you didn't need to re-roll it. You already knew what you're doing. Yeah, it crunches off, and you see them scrambling as they're holding on to it, and then it starts to slowly sort of tilt over back out towards the thing, and the last thing you see is them falling away down the hive,
Cool.
screaming.
Filthy
What's your
heretics.
complication though? What
I
do you think
mean-
happens?
I don't know. Like, do I nearly slip off? Do I have to like stop myself from falling? Or maybe I put my boot into it a bit too hard? Or is that too dramatic? Like, and Sister Genevieve actually dies because she fails to.
No, what I will, yeah, you just fall off of the edge of the hive. Oh well, that's the end.
Well.
No, one of the groups of guards is alerted as they hear you like
Oh, they hear the big
power
crunch noise.
boot stomp this off, and a bunch of the militia screaming as this ladder screeches as it slowly bends over and falls away
So
and crashes down.
everyone was trying to be quiet, but Sister Genevieve. I mean, that seems the theme of the evening.
that
So
was pretty much it.
Yeah, are these better dressed guards now approaching us?
It's another unit of the militia, like 6 of those PDF style troops. But if they start making some noise, they might well draw in more.
Are they,
Before
they gonna
we get
actually-
to that, Brodo was going to do something.
Oh,
What
sorry.
were you trying to do?
I was also trying to find a disguise.
Do you want to roll for awareness there? Or you could roll for stealth and just like hide. I'm not
Okay, I'll
sure
do the
there's going to
stealth
be
I'll do the stealth
many
option, it's probably easier.
rattling sized garbs lying around. Yeah. Okay, so your stealth number is 4 at the moment. Is Danny Dyer doing anything? You also kind of notice, well, you've all noticed this group of militiamen, like, they've heard something and they're moving to investigate.
I'll kind of calm Brodo. Brodo, we need to get on with the mission.
Just
Rendezvous.
sneak in.
I'm moving ahead. Stay quiet,
Agreed.
and I'll meet you nearer the objective.
Yep.
We've got to at least try and get one of us near this bloody heretic.
Think we just left Dan behind.
Yeah, I think so.
As I
Are you
prefer to
rolling
call
for
it,
stealth
as I
then?
prefer to call it, the distraction.
Yeah, we ain't getting close with with the sister clomping along.
It's fine.
She'll keep them distracted. We'll get in and deal with the problem.
Do you want to roll?
Awesome.
Want to roll a stealth roll then?
Yes, I do. Oh, sweet bloody hell. Can I use a glory point or something to...
You've still got a
You
reroll,
can-
haven't you? From the chat.
Ah, the chat
We each
rerolls.
got a reroll.
Oh well, there
Haven't
you
you
go.
got 5 successes?
I
Yeah.
have,
Yeah, this
I've
is a
got
lot of
that.
So
ones
you
there.
do, yeah. Your stealth level is 5, but you have some form of complication that we can work out. It doesn't necessarily mean like you're not hidden. It
So I
could
can't
be.
use a glory point to ignore...
You could use one of your RAF points because I let Dan do that earlier. So
That's true.
you know,
Playwright.
Uh,
just because I want to make you all spend your RAF points before you
All right, yeah, I'll
start
spend a
getting
rat point
shot
to
at.
ignore the complication just so I can stay quiet and move towards the objective.
Okay. So I'll quickly just roll to see how quiet you're staying. Danny Dyer manages to push on in the outskirts and the darkness and the shadows through different groups patrolling the area, but Brodo Fraggins is moving through one area when he gets clocked. Like, one of the groups of more professional looking soldiers notices something scurrying about in the shadows, and one of them shouts, "There's something over there." At that moment, Sister Genevieve and 6 militiamen are gonna come into contact with each other.
I mean, Sister Genevieve is going to be walking in a non-hostile fashion. And I'm hoping they're going to give me the opportunity to exploit authority and do an influence test on them.
Well, in evening combat, you get to go first, so, you know.
So Sister Genevieve is going to address the PDF, and using that. Now, what are their keywords? Because I've got to work out how many keywords we have in common. So I'm guessing we've got Imperium and Human in common.
Let's have a look.
Keywords.
They
chaos,
have
corn.
Yeah. You have Imperium in common and Human, obviously. They have some more keywords, but
they're not going to have those.
Probably don't have those in common.
No, yeah, they're probably not got Adeptus Sororitas or Adeptum Ministorum.
No.
Okay, so now so we got to decide on what the DN difficult. But basically, what I'm trying to convince them of is actually they've been lied to, and they are not serving the true Emperor by doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the DN level is going to be for this one?
They're like, they've just pretty much seen you or heard you at the very least murder a bunch of their mates, so it's going to be difficult. What should we put it at? I would say
17.
I'm going to start it at a DN of, well, difficult would be 7. Challenging is 5. But do you reduce it in any way for your keywords?
Yeah. So basically, I get a +1 for each additional keyword we have.
Right, you get +1 dice.
Yeah, and I actually get +1 influence because I'm a Sister of Battle.
Very nice.
So it's just a bit baked-in thing from the Sisters of Battle. So actually, I got +3 at the moment for my influence test.
Yeah.
I'm basically trying to convince them that they're serving the
7 though.
So I got to roll
because
7.
You're not trying to rally a group that's friendly to you. You're trying to convince people.
I'm trying to convince people
been told to shoot you on sight.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince these people that actually they're serving the wrong Emperor, and if they're truly of the Imperium and they're truly of the occult of the Emperor, they would listen. So we're about to find out.
Go on.
So are we just doing it's base DN, but I've got to get 7 successes?
Yeah, you've got to get 7 successes with your dice pool.
Okay, so let me just build my dice pool up then. I mean, it's going to be pretty hard. I've only got 6 dice in my dice pool, so...
Get all 6s?
Oh, it's so close!
Ooh, it's close. You can use... You can use a RAF point to reroll your failures.
So I've got 2 failures.
Yeah.
Oh, but I've got a RAF critical. Can I...
You have a RAF critical as well.
Can that give me an extra success?
It can't give you an extra success, but it adds something to the scene. So it adds something in your favour.
Okay. As she's preaching about the Emperor, a holy light comes from her, showing them that maybe, just maybe, I only need 6 successes rather than 7.
Go on then.
And I will use a RAF point to reroll those 2.
If you get another success.
Oh, and can I use a glory point to add another dice to this now?
You could do that after you've re-rolled.
Oh, okay. So I'll roll 2.
So your glory points are really
No.
quite powerful in that sense. Because,
So I'm gonna add.
Yeah. So
I'm
you
gonna
could
have to roll-
use 1 point of glory from the pool if
How many-
everyone will let you.
If everyone will let me.
Yeah, go for it.
Roger that.
Yes! And I actually got the original 7 successes as well.
Oh,
So
there you
there is
go.
there's like a light shining on
Yeah.
her as she preaches to these PDF men that actually they've been lied to, that this is not a conduit of the Emperor, that we are here at the service of the Emperor, and they are to walk me and take me protectively to this man so that I can do the Emperor's bidding and justice.
One of them, like, the group shuffles uncomfortably for a moment, but they're paying attention to you, and you do come out of the shadows, and light bathes down upon you. You've got like resplendent Adepta Sororita or Sororita, alabaster armor on with red billowing capes and stuff coming out from all sides, holding a massive great bolter, and the one in charge turns to say something to them, but he gets pushed aside by another one, and he says, I told you there was something wrong about all of this. And
So speak to the heart of the people,
yeah,
the inner flame.
and they're all sort of huddled around you now, uncomfortably waiting for you to guide them to what they need to be doing.
Lead me to the Lord's location. From there, I will free the people from these tyranny and these falsehoods and these heresy.
They look about and they go, all right, come with us, but don't tell anyone, right?
Understood. I
Until,
will pretend to be your prisoner.
until it's done, right?
I will pretend to be your prisoner as you walk me through the streets. This will be
Yeah.
a much easier way to sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because she knows the other two are gone, so she doesn't
Yeah.
even know what they're doing.
Do you want
Just
to...
walk to the chamber.
So, as this unit of these 4 better guardsmen are sort of have clocked Brodo, Brodo, you notice a huddle with Genevieve walking through the streets as well. And you've also got these 4 other soldiers bearing down on you. And Danny Dyer's nowhere to be seen. He's crept off into the shadows.
I might see if I can go back
Probably
into the
drinking
shadows then
Amsac or whatever.
before they get too close. I'm not going to engage them. I need to get to the.
You're
primary
gonna try and
target first. Dodge away
try
from
and
them.
maneuver around
Get back.
them.
Yeah. Can I try another stealth roll?
How are you gonna try and go about it? Are you gonna try and distract them in some way, or are you just trying to disappear?
I'm trying to disappear because I'm kind of assuming being in a hive, there's plenty of cover around, and I can basically duck behind something and then peg it.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, it's giving me some distance between us to kind of make another shot.
Okay. Yeah. Give
Stealth?
me a stealth roll then. It'll be a contested stealth roll then, as they're actively looking for you.
Have we got any spare dice I can use?
I assume we've got some more glory points.
Yeah, there's some more
yeah.
glory points.
Use a glory point, sir.
Excellent, thank you.
You're gonna have to beat 4 successes, but there's also a Wrath complication that we'll discuss in a minute for the group trying to find you.
Oh yes.
Oh my god.
That's a bit better, isn't it?
Did you use a point of glory for that?
I did, yes.
Yeah, okay, I'll lower the glory first. Yeah, 7 successes. That'll do it. That I think that
So the wrath complication is.
you could also potentially bank that 6 then.
Yeah, I'm going to bank that
then
as
you'd
another.
still have 5 successes.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And
So I'll leave the glory at 4.
The wrath complication is that above the head of the squad is like a precarious pipe that breaks and kind of steam shoots out of it, kind of not damaging them or hurting them in any way, but just adding that extra distraction for
as they jump and start waving their las guns around at this jet of steam. Genevieve walks past them, behind them, with 6 militia in tow, and pretending to have taken her prisoner. And they're like jumping all about because it's on edge.
It's almost like that steam happened at the exact perfect moment as the Emperor willed.
Frodo fades back into the shadows and moves on. Yeah, you.
So we don't actually know that she's not being captured.
No, that's true.
You have got a combi though.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's also still technically carrying her bolter. You would have assumed they would have disarmed her.
As part of my stealth, I will be shadowing her group.
Okay.
Because I assume they're going in the same direction now.
And you're all moving towards this large forum area that you have been told is probably where the target will be. And in the fact of Genevieve, it's been confirmed to you by the militia themselves. Let me just bring up that map for everyone at home, and we'll go into the end game.
We need tokens, just in case, so we can
see. I will do that in a second.
Perfection personified.
So it's this big open forum area, but with a bunch of gangplanks and different levels all the way up, and balconies that's been created over top of it. And there's a bunch of entrances as well. And in the very center, you can see a rather smug-looking nobleman standing around with 4 guards around him, talking into a vox box, and every time he says something into the box there's a slight delay, but you hear it echoing out in the background from those big foxhalers that are all around the city. The militia at this point, Genevieve, go, we're not tangling with that. We got you here. You do what you came to do. And they start.
And she turns around and puts her hands on their shoulders before they disappear and goes, "You have served the Emperor this day. May he always protect you."
Nice.
And then turns around and starts walking in, bolter up.
If I can see that, because I'm shadowing him, I will be going to a higher point where I can hide and aim. But Roger was kind of ahead of me because he'd stealthed earlier. So
I was going to say I would have tried to put myself on an elevated good.
Dyer is you've come in from a different entrance, and anyone who's trying to climb up into a nice shooting spot can roll a stealth roll.
Yes,
we'll see
I
how
will.
we do. Is anyone what are you doing? Are you just like walking in there trying to hide, rolling up on them, or
I'm trying to get in hiding. I don't want to be them to see that we've gone into hiding,
I mean,
especially as
I
they're
don't
now being distracted by a woman in white power armor and red
I don't
robe.
want to throw aspersions, but I might have broken into some places before, so I ain't walking through the front door. I'm going to, get up the outside, sneak in through a window or an air duct, get into a good place. With a bit of history.
It is
shall we say, getting
very
into places.
large, towering. Like, if you probably couldn't get to the top right away, but if you could, it would be coming on to the upper limits of Brodo Fragin's rattling rifle. So it's a huge complex with layers of balconies and walkways and things going all the way up, and a big marble floor at the bottom. But whoever this Lord Gneaus is, he doesn't seem to be too worried about anything going on.
Got 8 successes.
8 successes. Okay.
Bloody hell.
You are
So
stealth?
yeah, you have clambered out into. What are you
Well, that's
doing? Do you
something
want to be
unexpected happened.
1 or 2 levels up, or
Wherever I can get the best shot is where
Ooh,
it's.
Yeah.
but you did get a RAF complication.
I was going to say, for my suggestion for the raft complication is it takes me a while to do that, which would allow the others to catch up because I was quite a bit
Okay.
further ahead than you.
so? What we'll say is, if
Basically, we act
a
for
combat starts, you won't be able to go first in the initiative order
him. Yeah, makes sense.
because you're still clambering into a position, but you will have
Yeah,
a
but
good.
I was like 20 minutes ahead of them.
I
Yeah,
got to walk
but-
through the streets.
Yeah, you were sneaking all the way. Genevieve just walked there.
So yeah, I mean, I assume the Lord who's on the box, that is the guy we're here to deal with.
Yeah, he
I'm assuming we
looks
would have seen
very
the image
much
of
like the images on the
Statues.
icons you've seen and the statues and the kind of hazy image that they gave you to start off with during your briefing.
And Sister Genevieve is going to be walking in, and she's going to be saying, "As the saints cast down George Van Deer in the rain of blood for his falsehoods towards the Emperor, so shall I now cast you down." And then I'm guessing
That will be my distraction for me to go somewhere.
you are not firing first.
Oh, no,
I have
absolutely
walked-
not. I will
I
be.
walked through here. I am firing first.
I will. Can I roll a stealth roll
You
to get into a
can.
hiding place as well?
Yeah.
That being my distraction.
I think that'd be a pretty good distraction.
8 successes, 2 sixes.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so yeah, you're sort of up on an adjacent level to Danny Dyer, and you're both looking down.
Also, it would
As
be really
you-
cool was the Vox on as she was shouting this at him,
Yeah,
because has that rung out across the city. That'd be amazing. if it has.
he looks up, kind of. His guard are already starting to move forwards to contain the threat, and he looks up at you indignantly, and he says, "Cease quoting imperial law to those of us with guns." And at that point, Danny and Brodo notice that there's a team with an autocannon 2 levels above them again.
Sister Genevieve's
But-
got this.
Sister Genevieve can go first.
Okay, so we are starting combat, correct?
Yep.
Then I shall activate my first faith point, and I shall use divine guidance. And what this means is I get double my rank bonus when I shoot my gun.
Nice. Who are you shooting at?
The Lord himself. I don't care about the guards. If I
The
mark,
guards are trying to get in the way, though, so
That's
it'll
fine.
up his defense a bit.
Yes, that's fine. I'm going to do some shooting then. So I've used
Go
the faith
on.
points. That's my first combat action. Let me just knock my faith points down by 1. Back down to 4. And then let's go do some shooting, shall we? Let's go tootin' shooting. Well done. And now I have
Let's do us some shooting.
So now I have 6 extra dice, ladies and gentlemen. Am I at short range? Have I closed him down?
You're at medium range. This place is massive, so you're just
okay.
at normal range.
And is it short range for rapid fire weapons, isn't it? For the trait of rapid fire.
If you want to use your rapid fire, I believe you do have to be at short range because a lot of it is very similar to.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm pretty sure rapid fire is short rather than medium.
Yeah. I'll find it quickly, but
I shall roll my dice.
Rapid fire.
I am going to use my last RAF die here to re-roll my fails because that was atrocious. So I'm down to 0 RAF die, everybody. Just so we're all aware.
Pretty shocking.
That is pretty shocking, right? So I've got 1, 2,
you have to be at close
4,
range.
5,
Well, short
6,
range.
7, 8. I've got 8 dice to re-roll.
Remember to roll one of them separately if you're re-rolling the wrath.
Yeah.
Is that a RAF critical?
Yeah, the red one's the wrath die, so you'll need to roll that separately.
If you're re-rolling your failed RAF dice as well, you'll need to have a red dice in the RAF.
What's the bonus of not re-rolling it? Do I get a RAF point or something, or just...
so the RAF point can either give you something good or something bad or nothing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's not saying anything right now.
One of your dice has to be a RAF dice.
Right. What I'll do is I'll roll 7 dice and I'll roll a last dice because I don't think I can set it out to be.
No,
so
no problem.
I'll roll 7 dice.
Oh, there you go. It rolled a RAF dice for you.
Oh, it rolled it. Oh, okay. I'll
roll another one, and we'll just count that as a normal.
Okay.
Then. Yeah. Okay. So you.
So I've got
a megaton of successes.
Yeah, 1, 5, and then what was my initial roll was 4. So I've got
just a 10.
just a 10 successes, and I've got a RAF glory.
That does.
I'm assuming that hits him.
That does hit him, and you got a point of glory as well, and a RAF critical. What do you want to do with that?
Spaff it into damage. Straight into damage.
Okay, so that's an extra dice on that as well.
Do I need to roll a dice for damage?
Yeah, you'll.
Okay, that's fine. Roll.
So are you counting your damage roll from the top there? So damage 10?
Damage 10 because it's just a bolt gun, isn't it?
Okay.
And I didn't get anything from the extra dice because it got a 2, and even though my gun's brutal and extra damage dice do damage on freeze, I still failed to roll it. And that's a lot of successes. Woo! There we go.
Danny Dyer and Brodo Fraggins, you watch this hail of bolts go out. One of them finds its target and it bursts through this thick padded jacket that the Lord has on and dings against something hard and carapacey underneath, but just cracks it a little bit as it explodes, and you see a small tiny strand of blood come off of the Lord, and he just flicks it away.
Oh wow. It's fine, we got this.
Do either of you
use glory to intercept now, right?
Want to use glory, to seize the initiative?
It means you would get to shoot.
Put that auto cannon out, Dan. But snipe around down the barrel.
How many crows the autocannon got?
2. There's 1 loader and 1 firing. But they're perched sort of directly behind the Lord, but quite high up. You're a couple of levels up from where Genevieve is, and these are big, like, high.
Has the Lord got
grand kind
armor
of
on his head?
thing.
Is he wearing a helmet? Or
he doesn't appear to be.
I think I'm going to take a shot at the autocannon gunner. Am I in close range from where I am?
What's your range? Your gun have like close.
18, 36, 54.
You're still you're gonna have to fire kind of up 2 levels as well as across from where you are. They're pretty much at the back here. So even for your rattling rifle, this is a massive place. You're going to be at medium.
Okay, I'll do an aimed shot.
Lord is sort of here-ish. But the autocannon's right at the back, but you know, they've got an autocannon, so they don't really care. They can... And who are you aiming for? You're trying to take out the gunner, yeah. So you're doing a called shot or an aimed shot?
Called shot to his head. And does anyone mind if I take a glory?
I don't know what a glory point looks like.
Give us an extra dice. We've got 5 at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can use them afterwards, mate.
Yeah, you can roll first and then
and
add them
one afterwards.
What was afterwards?
That'll hit.
Okay.
Do you, because you can in this case, you could shift to 6 for an extra damage dice. That's 6 that you've got there.
To extra damage dice.
What you can also do is you can use glory for extra damage as well.
I'll do the I'll move the 6 for extra damage.
Yeah.
So
okay. So you roll another d6.
Where do I do that?
At the top of your character sheet.
Yeah.
I was going to say at the top of your character sheet is also a roll mechanic up there as well.
Oh, well, okay. Oh no, where's it?
Oh,
You've re-rolled the whole entire thing?
Yeah, I think you re-rolled the whole thing.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was re-roll. Sorry.
Oh yeah, don't do re-roll. Roll. Just roll on its own.
There we go.
That would be a failure.
So yeah, you shoot him and oh no, wait, you were aiming specifically for his head, weren't you? Yeah. So that lowers his resilience. You did 10 damage, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It just about takes his head off as he's whirling up to like start firing this autocannon down into the forum below at Genevieve. And he collapses backwards and the loader next to him startles.
I'm going to move as well from where I am because the loader might have seen where I was shooting from, so I will move to cover.
Also, you spent a point of glory, didn't you, to seize the initiative? Yeah. What about Danny? Oh no, wait. No, you can only do it once.
Yeah.
So, the guard group are gonna open fire on. Well, one of them is anyway. On running forwards and firing his las gun at you as he comes.
So he hits, but 8 damage doesn't do anything. I've got resilience.
Just gonna say, I'm glad I'm not going to get shot at the moment because I would have been dead, or at least wounded.
Okay, then it's Danny's go.
Okay, from where I am, because I was able to position myself well, am I at short range?
You're still at medium range, but you're
you got a bolt
completely
gun, right?
hidden. Yeah.
Short range is 6 meters.
Yeah. So
All right. So while everyone's focused on the sister, I'm gonna shoot the geezer.
Go on then.
5 successes
Yeah, you hit him.
for 11 damage.
Okay. And yeah, it dings into his carapace again and explodes, but this time like the explosion cuts open his face a bit and his arm, and he's bleeding a bit, but maybe not quite dead yet. One of the guards breaks off to try and fire a las gun up at you as they spotted you firing a bolter down at them.
I imagine his position, you'll get cover, right?
Yep. So what's your defense rating then?
My defense rating normally is 3.
Okay, so you can, yeah, you're pretty high up and you're behind like pillars. You can add 2 to that. So it still hits you, I'm afraid.
Nuts. So I think I take 1 wound because my
for 8
resilience
damage.
is 7.
Yep. Then another one's gonna start firing at this rattling that's just taken out their auto cannon gunner.
Is he still there? Can I even shoot at him? He moved.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause I
yeah,
moved.
you used that.
Yeah, he did the
thingy.
scuttle away,
Yeah, okay. Then
Nice.
another shot at Genevieve. There you go.
Fine.
Which once again does nothing. And one on Danny Dyer, which probably also does nothing
That'll miss
because it
anyway,
didn't
I
even
think.
hit. Yeah.
But no,
Okay.
it wouldn't have done anything because I'm an hard bastard.
And Lord Gneaus kind of upset that you've shot his auto gunner as well, and that his trap that he was clearly planning didn't go off, is turning and trying to get out of here. But that's the end
trying
of
to
the
cheese
round, as the auto cannon, well, the loader takes over the gunner position for the next round.
That's fine. Do that.
We
we got
want
a
to
sniper
I'm gonna
start?
shoot
do
that
that.
one now as well, aren't I?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because while las guns will do nothing to my armor, an auto cannon absolutely will.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how well your power armor would play, so I thought an auto cannon at the end that'll give him something to deal
that'll
with.
That'll do a job. That'll certainly do a trick. So
Shall I
go first?
use a glory to take the initiative to shoot the auto gunner?
It's our
you
choice.
can, yeah,
Oh,
you
okay.
can
Anyway.
pick who goes first. Just gonna run off for a second whilst you pick. I'll be right back.
Shall I go first to shoot the gunner, or do
Yeah,
you want to
sure.
have another go at the boss
I mean,
man?
no matter what, we're going to seize anyway, right? So we're gonna
Yeah, I was
we'll
going to
seize.
say because I've probably got a good shot on the guy running away, which might be a harder shot for the sister.
Okay, so
It's more the fact that I'll be rolling 12,
where's my card sheet
13
gone?
dice now. Because I'm going to just act of faith again and guidance. But I could just take out some guardsmen if you want to finish him off.
Well, they're running at you, so you could probably rapid fire into them while I take a pot shot at the geezer.
right. Okay, hold on. Lost my
So
card
I'd
sheet.
imagine your rapid fire 2 on the bolter should.
This
Yeah,
is
so
my
2
last
extra
shot,
damage
and then
die.
this is my last shot, and I'm gonna have to reload.
You don't have to reload in Wrath and Glory.
Don't I?
Nope. Only if Lewis uses a Wrath complication to say your gun chamber. Otherwise, you don't really have to monitor ammo
Yeah, it says it in the rules.
It says it in the rules. You don't have to monitor ammo. You take extra ammo. You could take specialist ammo as well.
I think it's like an 80s action movie.
Yeah, it's like
right,
we've all got unlimited
80s
bullets.
action movie.
But like, say for
Love
example,
it.
you make your shot and you get a RAF complication on your shot. Lewis will
Yeah.
say that's your gun's just gone empty. You're going to need to spend a turn reloading. It's really inconvenient when it happens.
Aim in the head.
Remember, you can always use a glory point afterwards. You don't
Yeah,
have to
After
do
the
it.
fact, yeah.
Oh.
I think he's dead.
I think we're all right.
I think you're good, Dan. I think you're good.
That's a bit sick.
I think that guy used to have a head.
He's definitely not of this mortal coil anymore.
He's back. So I shot him in the head. I did a cool shot, and I shot him in the head again.
You might have had issues.
So he takes a moment to kind of turn his cap around so the lip is facing backwards, and he stares down the barrel of a sniper rifle, cocks it, just takes a look, it just goes bang. You got a slow motion shot of this bullet just crossing the space and then cracking him dead center in the head, and basically doesn't even blow the back of his head out. It's just the whole head explodes.
Is Roger within 15 meters of me?
15 meters is pretty far.
Okay. I'm going to seize Roger, but there's a reason why I'm seizing.
All right.
And I am going to use my act of faith, but I'm going to give it to Danny Dyer. You've now got double rank bonus on your shooting when you shoot next turn. And then I'm going to rapid fire into the guardsman that came closest to me, whilst reciting more litanies. Uphold the honor of the Emperor, trust in the Emperor at the dawn of battle. And she's just going to open fire at close range at the guy who was running at him stupidly. I mean, I'll fire at the one closest to me.
It chose poorly.
Okie dokie. And they're at close range, so I get 2 extra damage die there. So I got 5 successes. So I'm assuming I hit them. And I do 13 damage. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Rog,
She's still moving
use all
forward.
Glory points.
Did you add the damage for your rapid fire onto that, Dan?
Yeah, because that's what the 2 extra damage die rolls are. So it's damage 2, extra damage 2 dice when rapid fire.
Gotcha.
So that's why I got those 2 extra die on the ED. So it's their turn to do something. You missed. You got 2 successes. It's almost like they're going around me.
People
Like
saying they can't hear
they,
Lewis.
and he's got a wrath complication, which would be his ammo clip runs out. He's like,
No one can hear you, Lewis. I think they can hear us, but not you.
Yeah, no. Oh
And
well.
then we won.
That was a lot of explanation on my part that no one could hear. Well done. No, so yeah, he comes running towards you, unloading his las gun, and as you're walking straight at him with bolter firing,
glow coming off me.
As these shots miss you by inches each time, and you sort of both come together, his las gun goes, tuk, 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 and he looks up with a look of horrid shock. Okay. Everyone had
That's Mr. Dyer.
No,
Mr.
yeah,
Dyer
it's
now.
Mr. Dyer now. Yeah.
And you get double your rank bonus. And as we're rank
There you
3, that
go.
means 6 extra dice for your ballistic skill dice pool.
Lord Gneaus
And
is sort
Rog,
of
if you hit him, just use all the glory points to do more
Damage up, yeah.
Just damage up.
Just spaff the last of the damage of the story.
Just spam it.
Preach this, you heretic mug.
And you feel a warmth on you, Roger.
I'm going to
It,
put all
yeah,
of those 4 6s into damage.
yeah. So you can roll another 4 extra damage dice on top of that.
And whatever we've got left glory-wise is going in as well, right?
Yep, that's
You've got 3
more.
points of glory left, so you
Yeah,
can
do
spend
3
them
more
all.
points of damage.
That's 15 damage. Come on,
Yeah.
roll.
5 more. So 7. Oh, hang on. No, it's 3s, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, it's not.
5,
Not
6.
with.
No, it's 5.
No, extra damage is 4 and 5 are 1 damage, and 6
Yeah,
is a 2
and
damage.
6 is 2 damage.
Oh, do I not get brutal?
Brutal, actually. So yeah, it's 3 pluses.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
So,
So-
18 damage. Eat this, you filthy heretic.
Very,
With the
very
Emperor's
nice, sir.
with the Emperor's divine guidance.
Have
Yeah.
it, you mug. Also,
One-
just unloading my bolt gun on full auto.
One of those stray beams of light that caught Genevieve earlier as she was orating to the militia sort of skitters past you as you unload your bolt gun on him. And as he turns around, realizing he's got nowhere left to run, he starts to try and bring up this las pistol that he's had hidden in his thingy, and just a hail of bolt gun
And verbal
Yeah.
abuse.
and verbal abuse. The verbal abuse is the worst part, as he gets ripped apart by these exploding miniature rockets. But how'd you finish him off?
In
I mean,
the
I
most
imagine he's a
gore-drenched
mist, right?
fashion- Yeah, most gore-drenched fashion possible.
Like-
With everyone's attention on him as just screaming abuse. Just rockets punching into every single location. Not only him exploding all around him, but bits of like rockcrete and plasteel from everything behind him just exploding.
One of the bolt gun shells goes straight through him. The timer was a bit off, and it hits the ammo crates of the auto cannon behind it, and he disappears in like a sudden misty womb of
Such is the
Explosive
fate of
power.
heretics.
Yeah, and you're feeling particularly pious right
Nice.
now as well. Like the Emperor. And what do the
And
remaining guardsmen do?
The remaining guards look around. Well, one of them is standing right in front of Genevieve. What does Genevieve do?
I mean, I imagine she's like glowing like mad right
He's
now.
like
Is he still trying to click his gun?
Clicking
Then
his
in which
gun
case
at
she's just going to unload her bolter into him if he's still clicking at him. So without point blank range. Do you want me to roll it, or are we just at the point where
No.
narrative now?
No, you can narrate the death or escape of the last two as well if you want.
Right, Genevieve
Frodo, what do you do? Yeah, you. Brodo's
I was on mute.
deeply. Don't worry, I've had that problem too.
I'm gonna blend into the shadows and disappear.
For one of
And
the
head
last
back.
ones, can I jump down with my chainsword?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Go for
feeling
it.
particularly like, I don't know why, some kind of
They're-
energy course through him, and he's just like, fucking get some!
They're leaderless at the moment and confused, and everything that they've been told has turned out to be one big heretical lie. And you just jump down in between them with your chainsword swinging around, carving through flak armor and skin and bone until the last two flop down as well. And
then-
the whole area sort of starts to go still. And that single stray beam finds its way to the top domed window above and casts down upon ye great heroes of the Imperium.
Anyone else want some?
Genevieve will make her way up to the Vox and declare to the imperial citizens of Cretch, the tyrant, heretical lord. I've now forgotten his name. Dionysius? Dionysius?
Gneaus.
Aeneas. I knew it was something like anus.
The Lord Anus.
The heretical lord Aeneas has been dispatched. The Emperor's true word exists now, and she goes into a full Emperor sermon and everything, and it's playing out across the city as she reinstills the faith, the true faith, and anyone else.
Dragons yawns a bit.
Isn't Fraggins just like
with
sitting?
a little shake
Yeah.
of my hip flask. Wait, Fraggins.
Yeah, let's have a drink.
I feel like Danny Dyer and Fraggins should just be sitting at the top of this massive great thingy
Salty
on
beef?
one of the
Salted
balconies,
beef.
smoking a big pipe and like.
Having a few
Ain't got a
drinks and
pipe,
eat
I've
some.
got these cigars.
Whilst below, Sister Genevieve is instilling the imperial cult back into these this wayward flock of imperial citizens.
We'll
And
liberate
with
the
that,
cabinet.
everything fades to black, and the Imperium is saved for another day,
Sort of.
maybe.
One crisis after
Just
the other.
one day more. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for staying up this late and running through that with me. Sorry, Dan, for keeping you up so
That's
long.
alright.
I don't know if there's anything we need to promote or anything for this week.
There's some more games
Stuff's
inevitably.
going on.
It's games. Join us. Join us every day for games. You know you want to. That's why you're here. Yeah. And if you don't join us for games, watch them back on YouTube later and like and comment and
Click on
subscribe.
Trek tomorrow, I think.
And yeah, I'm actually in that, so I should have realised that was on.
As you can tell, we're a professional bunch.
We're a professional bunch, and I'm not tired at all from having a sick child that screams at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And other than that, join us on the Discord. Come chat to us about more games. I hope you enjoyed this little Wrath and Glory one shot. Such enthusiasm.
Sorry,
Okay.
yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were talking to them.
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
thought
you
I
were
was
talking
talking
the
to
audience.
everyone. I mean, yeah.
So
True
professional.
consummate professionals.
Only the finest.
He's not talking about us, right?
Yeah, and
Oh.
we have been Garblag Games. Thank you for joining us, and good night.
Thank you. Good
Join
night.
us again for more games. Bye.
And remember to stay faithful.